Hi, my name's Jeroen Hoppe from the Clapham property blog, and today I'm going to tell you how to make money from sitting tenants. Right, so firstly you're probably thinking, well, I've heard of properties with sitting tenants all the time. But that's actually not quite true. The term sitting tenant is actually often misunderstood. Now, let's talk about sitting tenants and define them first. So what is a sitting tenant? Now, sitting tenants are actually not very common at all. See, sitting tenants are actually from before the assured short-hold tenancy. They're so-called Rent Act tenants. Now, back in the 70s, tenants were a very protected species, even more so than now, believe it or not. So the only way that the landlord could get possession of the property back was if the tenant seriously defaulted on the rent, or they were mistreating the property, and so on and so forth. Now, the tenants enjoyed a lot of protection, and in fact so much so that the tenancies could actually be passed down from generation to generation. The rents were capped. You weren't allowed to put the rents up. So oftentimes in auction, for example, you will see some properties with Rent Act tenants, and these are the regulated tenancies, the so-called sitting tenants. Now, these kind of investments are really a punt for the buyer because they could literally be sitting on a property worth hundreds of thousands of pounds, and the tenant is paying £50 a week, £80 a week, probably under three figures a week. So you're not getting any sort of rental income from that property. So really a cash investment. Maybe you'll get a bridging lender on it, but quite commonly people take a punt on these and just wait until the tenant actually passes away. It's as simple as that. Now, before you go finding old ladies with regulated tenancies and throw banana skins around, let's look at other ways that you can actually make a deal out of something like this. Now, Zoopla has a very good keyword search. So if you search Zoopla for sitting tenants in the area that you're looking for, chances are you will actually get a property come up. Now, that's because the term sitting tenants, as I said earlier, is often misunderstood. Now, a lot of estate agents think that tenants in situ, i.e. a landlord is selling the property with the tenants in place, are actually sitting tenants. Now, as I said, often misunderstood, but a good opportunity for an astute investor. So if you search on Zoopla for sitting tenant, and then read all the fine print, you'll actually often find that the tenants are on a standard assured short-hold tenancy agreement, which means that you can just give notice. Or if they're very difficult and they don't want to leave, you get a court order for possession. Now, you can't do that with Rent Act tenants, so there's a very important difference there. So Rent Act tenants, before 1989, they are protected, very, very endangered species. So you can't move them out. You have to wait until they either pass away, default on the rent, mistreat the property, so on and so forth. Now, AST tenants, assured short-hold tenancy tenants, you can just give them a Section 21 notice and off they go. Now, if they don't want to go, you get a court order. There's all these procedures in place to help you protect your investments. Much, much easier. Now, take advantage of estate agents mislabeling tenants in situ for sitting tenants because it'll put a lot of people off. So if you're the only one looking at this property, the competition goes down and you are more likely to secure this property at a better price. So use that to your advantage. See you next time for another episode of Property Tips on the Clapham Property Blog.